G'day everybody. I've had the opportunity to work out with the ATX TripleX Multigym for a couple of weeks now. I just want to make another follow-up video now that I've had the opportunity to use it through a few workouts, and I've got to say, this video is mostly about the lever arms and the ATX roller bench that comes with it. So I'll just get out of the way. In addition to being a very awesome lat pull down low row, which I've got some footage of now, it does all the lat pull down low row things that you would expect, and it does them to a very high standard. You can see here, even though it's got foot plates on the machine itself, I actually prefer to use the foot plates on the bench just to allow me to get a better stretch. But yeah, it does a really, really good job about that. But what has dawned on me is that this machine is actually phenomenal at fixing jammer arms. And what I mean by that is that it's the bench itself is able to fix one of the many issues involved with jammer arms. And I'm going to compare it to the prime machines so you can understand what I'm talking about here. Now, before I go into a little bit of picture-in-picture here, comparing it to some of the prime presses machines, I just want to go into sort of the mechanism that makes this bench great. Now, it's got built into the feet. You can see there the outer feet actually tessellate with the bracket of the lower foot plates that go into the bench. This effectively forms like a docking station. And effectively what that means is that you're perfectly centered on the bench every time you attach it. And once the bench is in the right spot, the arms actually are pressed to exactly the right position for your presses. Okay guys, now I just want to make a couple of comparisons. I'll talk about the bench and the general movement. So this machine does like 4 or 5 different things really well, and each one of these prime machines, which I'm picking as the example because while the jammer arms on the ATX don't actually converge, the prime machines, if you've ever used the ones I'm showing, barely converge at all. Like this is their prime extreme row, which I've used a lot, and it feels exactly the same. And you'll see by this top-down view, the prime handles on their extreme row don't converge at all either. So yes, it doesn't have the adjustable loading profile, but in terms of the feel and the movement, the stretch to the upper back, it is absolutely identical, it feels to me, and I've used these machines quite extensively. Here's just another example. These are, standing supported lever row machines. Again, these sort of machines are, I think this one might be by Max Pump, or the next one I'm going to show is by Max Pump. These machines will run you up, $6,000, $10,000, depending if they're, US made or South Korean, which is Max Pump is US, but there's another South Korean brand that has a similar style. Might be the one we're looking at now. Really, really good machines, and the bearings on the ATX version are absolutely industrial bearings, so they feel just the same. Here is where the bench itself, though, is really sort of shining, is that the ability of the roller adjustment system on the bench to realign you to exactly the right position in relation to the jammer arm really seems to be the secret to how ATX have fixed a problem that I've had with jammer arms for a long time. I've made many videos about jammer arms. I've tried, doing my own modifications and different weight horns and all these sorts of things in order to get the weight to increase throughout the ride of all the various presses. But this seat is just phenomenal because it's got the ability to, take out all of that extra hacking that goes with the jammer arm of trying to, slide it up and down, remembering what hole you're in. In this case, all you've got to do is set the bench to whatever degree angle you want, and it automatically readjusts its height, and it readjusts the seat angle and pulls yourself back towards the machine so that the lever arm itself doesn't actually have to move at all. You're seeing here, I'm going from a seated shoulder press down to a seated incline press. You've only got to lift the lever arms an inch. You pull that securing pin, which is like your docking pin, just to move it out of the way, and then that lets you set what the stopper height is for your next movement. So this is coming down from that shoulder press to an incline press, and you saw how quickly that was. I didn't even have to take the weights off of the arms. You just slide the bench out, and once you know your hole height for your stopping height, you're ready to go. And so now here I am, sort of mimicking that that prime fitness incline press, which again you can see from the video footage here. It does have a slight incline, but it's not huge. And to be quite honest, it's really the stretch portion of the movement that your pecs are benefiting from. Now, that doesn't hold true for every single exercise, but the majority of ones it appears to, and you can even see from the angle of the weight in regard to the pivot point, the heaviest part of the movement on this incline press or even on the chest press is at the stretch position. As I'm pushing the weight away and as that weight gets higher above the point of anchorage or the moment arm, then that weight actually gets lighter as you're shortening the muscle by extending your arms. Here's a good little snip of me mate, No Way Jose, another Garage Gym community member. His gym is prime everything, so this isn't meant to be a knock at him, but just No Way Jose obviously has a much bigger budget than I do because every machine in his gym is prime. But I just did find it telling that, this flat chest press, the incline press, the shoulder press, and the extreme row, I mean, that's 4 prime machines that this machine feels very, very similar to and is able to change between in just a number of seconds. And that's in large part to not only just the quality of the leverage arms and the anchor points and the bearings, but mostly the seat. This bench is absolutely phenomenal. And it takes all of the pain and drama and stuffing around that you used to have, or that I used to have with trying rack-mounted jammer arms, and making it very, very easy. So I just want to finish out the video, guys. I've ranted for long enough, for about a 6-minute video today, but yeah, the ATX Roller Adjustment System bench does come included with the ATX TripleX Gym, so that's an added bonus if you're after a multi-use machine like I am. But in and of itself, really, really phenomenal bench, guys. Can't say enough about it. Really, really well done, ATX.